This is the Villanova Casanova Kid Osborne, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside Kaliko Yacht, who may be joining us a little later, but who is here right now as I speak, the American Scooter Dust.
I'm finding great comfort in food. For example, cakes. They make great pillows.
And it was a great week for Wrestling Win, as we caught up with Becca. She added a G to her name since the last time we've talked to her. So, definitely, evolved Becca.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, what happens when that 3 becomes a 4 and she becomes Beforica? Or Befivka?
And on Wednesday, I interviewed Kit Osborne, a staple of CCW, now H2O, and great conversation with a great guy. Um, we talked everything between wrestling, uh, selling pocket salt that you could just throw into people's face, um, cooking, TV, podcasting. It's the whole shebang, and I can't recommend it enough. Also, what I can't recommend enough is our next two interviews, which has international flair. We got Rochelle Rogue of Australia, and I can't say enough great things about Rochelle. She's of Aboriginal Australian descent, and we go into everything that. We talk deathmatch wrestling, Doctor TV shows, and much, much more. And then on Wednesday, we have Spencer Love, the promoter of Love Pro Wrestling up in Canada. Spencer, great guy, interesting view on everything. If you want an insight on everything Love Pro Wrestling, you're gonna love this interview. Um, we also talk Pokemon, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the today's, and much, much more. And then on the 31st of August, we have Gary F&J. I think we're done putting ourselves over, right, Scooter?
I think so.
That being said, it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the news. Um, a lot of AEW drama. Apparently,
Yep.
CM Punk cut a promo calling out Hangman Page. Rumor and innuendo would suggest that it was a suit and not a walk. Some saying it's a walk and not a suit. Some say it's a walk into a suit, and some saying it's a suit into a walk. What say you, Scooter? Because it definitely has a lot of people talking.
Now, my source actually says that this was not planned at all. That Hangman, Punk talking about Hangman was was not part of the promo at all. It apparently stems from the fact that Punk is apparently very unhappy. Big surprise there. so unhappy that he came close to no-showing the House of the Dragon edition of Dynamite this past Wednesday. It is reported that Punk's comments at Page were a complete surprise. That there are no plans for a Page Punk rematch at All Out. It also stems from Punk and Page having heat during the build to their match at Double or Nothing, where Punk said he would never do the job or lose to Adam Page. This is where is it? Okay. Multiple sources within AEW have said that they feel the situation was unfair to Adam Page since he wasn't aware of it ahead of time. One source said even if he was aware of it, what would he have done? Charged to the ring past Tony and interrupted a promo he knew he wasn't supposed to be a part of? There was no way Hangman could have won in that situation. So Punk takes advantage of the fact that, you know, he could take the ball and go home if he really wanted to. The term people are using is Punk going into business for himself. Now, aside from all that, the promo on Moxley before Moxley came into the ring was top freaking notch. And of course, when Mox joined in, it was great. The question now remains, with the title unification match being moved to next Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday technically, what does that mean for All Out, since All Out is in Chicago?
From what I hear, they're building to another Hangman Punk match. From what I gathered from what I've heard, but again, that's rumor and innuendo.
I mean, it's possible they could be trying to fast track a Punk Omega match.
We'll get into Kenny in a little bit later, but it doesn't seem like that's really possible right now, especially if Kenny and the Bucks are in the finals of that tournament for the
my point is this. Is this just a way to get the title off of Punk?
Well, I mean, the question is, if they are going Page Punk, was that the original plan when before Punk got injured and Moxley was just the stand-in because, you know, he was the only one available?
I don't know, but again, sources within AEW are saying Punk has verbally expressed his unhappiness.
Is he ever happy? I mean, honestly.
That's a good point.
That
I
being
mean,
continue.
this news pops up, after Vince has retired, and again, it makes me wonder if Punk is regretting his time in AEW.
I don't know about him regretting his time in AEW, but I think Tony should regret his time in the AEW. Because is CM Punk a big name? Absolutely. Has he gathered attraction to AEW and what they do? Absolutely. Have, but the long-term effects of having a CM Punk has really damaged the company because you lost your biggest name that could have carried the company for many, many years to come in Cody. They didn't renew Colt Cabana's contract because he, quote unquote, had issues with Punk and they wanted to keep Punk happy. Um, Even though Colt is beloved by pretty much everybody at this point, and that maybe rubbed a
Mm.
couple people the wrong way in the locker
I
room, including maybe an Adam Page.
I heard. Uh, I'm not sure if I misread what I saw about that. It was actually Punk standing up for Cabana, apparently because of how Adam Page treated Cabana.
I mean, I've never heard that before. I mean, Page was with Cabana and the whole Dark for a while.
Yeah,
So I never heard that there were any issues with any of them.
and all in all, it just seems like I'm CM Punk. Believe me, or I'll ruin your company for a number of months.
I mean, depending on who you ask and if it's a work or a suit, MJF could have been a casualty of the CM Punk um being a part of the company as well. If you believe that it was what he said and did was actually a suit, which him wanting more money feels like it's a suit.
I mean, given that he is expected back very soon, uh, I mean, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they put Punk and MJF together.
I mean, would it work now? Because I mean, they told that story.
No, I'm saying as a team.
Oh, well, all that being said, with MJF expected to return soon, AEW's TV deal is up next month, September. Um, their ratings are not the greatest at this point in time. WWE is in a new transition of being that mega power that everybody knew that they was. And they're just not in a good place right now. Is there a possibility of AEW not being on TBS TNT by October?
Oh, I think AEW should go back to TNT. Quite honestly, um,
Dynamite.
yeah, for Dynamite. Um, I see AEW's TV deal being extended, but not as long as they thought. Like, they were hoping for 5 years. At most, they'll probably get 3.
Is that a bad thing if they get 3 years? Because, I mean, it's more time. I mean, it's less time to negotiate a contract to maybe get more money, but it's less time to build up your brand. Is that a double-edged sword, would you say?
Well, yes, but let's not forget that Tony Khan is the promoter that will whore out every single episode of television just to squeeze those extra dollars out of it. I mean, did we really need an episode of Dynamite sponsored around Game of Thrones?
Did we need a episode of Dynamite sponsored by Rick and Morty?
Oh, jeez, Rick.
It's James, not Rick. But you can call me sometimes Rick James.
My balls. Well, I mean,
I mean, I can't be mad that they made a sponsor out of Game of Thrones. Take the money. WWE does it too. Just take the money.
yeah, but then again, they don't, like, WWE doesn't decorate their friggin' ring with, their canvas with everything possible. You know those canvases can only be used once.
How very true.
I mean, what's gonna happen to them now? Like, you can't wash that off.
Well, I mean, they could cut it up and sell it. Memorabilia. Making that money back.
Oh yes, get a AEW House of the Dragon NFT when you buy the latest Nathan Khaleesi figure.
Do you have your pre-order, Scooter?
I hate Game of Thrones.
That's actually really surprising to me. But let's let's get into what they are trying to do. Kenny Omega returned this week on Dynamite, which should attract some more eyes onto them. They're waiting to bring back MJF to get that boost. Can Kenny Omega and MJF and whatever else that might be in the works with AEW actually get them a better deal come September?
I think Kenny Omega's return was wasted. Absolutely wasted. Being part of the trios tournament, and not to mention, he's coming back as a face since the Bucks are face now, and you've got Don Callis with him, who's playing the heel. It's no. See, Kenny Omega should either have been AEW's master villain or its greatest hero. Instead, no, there's nothing in the middle. Omega always is at one or the other, except for maybe now, playing, second fiddle to the Young Bucks.
But maybe that's by design at this point. He's not exactly 100% coming off, you know, uh, a multitude of really severe injuries. This is, and that was, as far as I know, the most time he's ever took off for, injuries and recovery. So could, this be him being a little bit ginger about it? You know, easing his way back into being the Kenny Omega we once knew?
It's quite possible, but then again, I don't think that would have put so much emphasis on him potentially re-injuring himself like they did in the match. So, I mean, not to mention that it seems like Dynamite ended way too early because it looked like they were the Bucks and Omega were going to make the save for Dragon Lee, and I think that's because Punk ate up TV time.
It's another casualty of Punk, if that's true.
Yep.
Also heard that WWE reached out to an AEW contracted talent to see if they wanted to come to WWE. They rumor and innuendo suggested that person said no, they're happy where they are. Um, what I'm trying to get at is it seems like WWE, since changing regimes, has been a little bit bold in their approach to things. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that's something the WWE has to do. I mean, you have to look at it like this. If you have no competition, then your product kind of runs stale. So I would bet a lot of these calls to AEW superstars are being made knowing that the answer is going to be no, not right now. So
But it
that
opens the lines
person,
of communication.
yeah, keep on opening the lines of communication. But so then that person can go tell the rest of the AEW locker room and be like, oh, you know, Triple H is, you know, clearly, is paying attention. We need to, really give it all we got. And so, by making those calls, they're trying to, you know, inspire AEW to, while they'll never really be competition for the WWE.
No.
The WWE knows that working with other companies and even reaching out to other companies, they know that it's better for business to do that than to shelter yourself on your own island where things only happen one way and the rules are absolute.
And we'll get into maybe a little bit more of that in a moment. But if you're WWE, who are you looking at on the AEW roster that wasn't a part of your company before? Because obviously they're looking at a Keith Lee, Undisputed Era, Swerve Scott. What? But who is in essentially an AEW original that could be a WWE potential lead.
Clearly, MJF is at the top of that list. I would think maybe Santana and Ortiz.
That wouldn't be a bad get.
Possibly. Let's see. Evil Uno, Alan Angels. I'd say Alex Reynolds. I wouldn't say John Silver.
They could be the new ministry under a Judgment Day.
Maybe. No, not Jay White. Can't be Jay White.
I mean, if they have a relationship with New Japan.
I mean, I would have thought Gresham if he was still contracted. Konosuke Takashita.
You know, I did hear that WWE was interested in him, and he's not necessarily an AEW contracted talent, so I mean that is in the realm of possibilities. So you're saying Jungle Boy has no chance of getting to WWE right now?
No. Only because I think the WWE crowds would boo the hell out of hearing Tarzan Boy.
What makes you think that they're licensing the song for him? I mean, if Moxley came back, there's a possibility, a small strand of possibility that they license Wild Thing.
Well, because he had a theme. He had a WWE theme before he left. Jungle Boy didn't. Jungle Boy. And you know, what a message would it send to talent to say, you know what? Screw it. We'll buy the song. You wanna?
What makes you think Jungle Boy has that kind of money?
I didn't mean him. If the superstar had enough of a following, I think Triple H would say, screw it, buy the rights to the song. Or at least the rights.
Well, what else could Jungle Boy come out to? I'm thinking the Banana Boat song.
No, Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. My name is Jack Perry.
Welcome to the jungle. We got boys and girls.
You know, there is actually a jungle girl out there.
Yeah, yes, with lots of R's.
Yeah.
So many R's, she might be a pirate.
No, that's Rochelle. And, who was the Paul Burchill? Oh, what happened to that guy? But that does beg the question, you know, we're talking about, you know, WWE reaching out to AEW talent. What if WWE had a relationship with New Japan?
Well, they may very well have one soon.
I know they were negotiating quite a while ago to get Brian Danielson on a New Japan show and into the G1 not too long ago. So I mean, communication is open between the two parties.
And given with the most recent developments, which we'll get into, I see that happening sooner rather than later now.
Do you think we could see Kazuchika Okada versus Roman Reigns?
I don't know if I want to see Okada versus Roman. I think I'd rather see Naito than Roman.
Um, I could definitely see that, and the promos leading up on Naito's side would definitely be entertaining. But if you're talking about greatness on another level, there's only two names that come to mind, and that's Roman Reigns and Kazuchika Okada. They're operating on the god level.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd like to see Tanahashi versus Cena. That would make the most sense in that scenario. If anybody should wrestle Naito, I think Seth would be a great foil.
See, I would give Jay White to Seth Rollins.
I mean, but who can't Seth Rollins face from New Japan?
Kenta, Ibushi,
Ibushi, I don't think is a part of New Japan anymore.
Takage?
That'd be pretty cool.
What about or Sonata?
Sonata's definitely up there.
See, I see Sonata going up against McIntyre or Sheamus.
I see Takage going up against a McIntyre or Sheamus because it's that strong style. I knock you out, you knock me out. I see Sonata maybe wrestling a Cody in a handsome off.
Maybe I put Goto against Sheamus.
What about Yoshihashi?
Drew Gulak.
No, the correct answer was fuck Yoshihashi.
Oh, no, Yoshihashi versus Ronda Rousey.
There you go. I think Ronda would win that one.
Let's see, Ricochet versus Tai Chi.
Oh no, Tai Chi versus Angel Garza because they both rip off their pants.
Let's see, Sami Zayn versus El Phantasmo.
Oh, not bad. Who does CSJ
I mean,
wrestle?
who does that? Maybe you give ZSJ to Seth Rollins.
Just give everybody to Seth Rollins.
Just give everybody.
Let him run through the company.
You know what? Put ZSJ and Osprey together in a tag team and put them against the Usos.
Oh god, that would never work. But I would see. But I wouldn't be mad at Cobb and O'Khan versus the Usos.
No, Usos versus God.
Yeah.
That's gotta be how it goes down.
Oh, for sure. Alright, something else that went down. WWE hired 17 not new wrestlers, but new, signees, developmental people. None of which were actual wrestlers. And, in this new regime, we're kind of feeling, okay, things are going to be different, but we're still signing
well,
athletes.
these were tryouts. These are out of the Nashville tryouts. So they still have a lot of training to go through before, that stereotype now has to be put to the side because no one is going to be rushed anymore, especially if they were an athlete in a previous sport.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, Vince loved the fact that he could claim that his roster had talent that had competed in the other major sports organizations. Now, whether you came from the NFL, the UFC, whether you were an Olympic, something or other, aside from Gable Steveson, that's a degree in bullshit, basically. You start new, you learn new. Nothing you did prior to being signed as a developmental talent means dick.
I didn't know Togo was going to be there. They already started their relationship in New Japan?
No, that's more of a dick to diamond.
No, I prefer my dick to go. Speaking to go and dining in, NXT UK has officially folded.
I told you so.
And NXT Europe has launched.
No, it hasn't.
Well, it's launching.
It's launching in 2023.
Yes.
Yes, I told you so. Not surprised to see all the releases. There's one release that I'm really, really upset about, and I think you'll know which one. But as soon as Tyler Bate showed up on and NXT this past Tuesday, you knew it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here to pay our last respects to NXT UK.
It's like we never knew you because we never watched you.
But a lot of releases, but there's one that really upsets me. James, do you know which one?
I think I know who you're going to. But I didn't see that he got fired.
Mustache Mountain is no more.
It's just a mustache hill now.
Yes, notable names that were released: Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster, Ashton Smith, Dave Mastiff, Wild Boar, Jack Stars, Amelie, Amelia McKenzie, ring announcer Kirsty Bosley, Shaw Samuels, Nina Samuels, Sam Gradwell, Danny Luna, Primate, Rohan Raja, Kenny Williams, Amir Jordan, Sid Scala, Eddie Dennis, T-Bone, Teoman, Zaya Brookside, which is surprising considering how much Robbie Brookside had a hand in NXT. Right. Saxon Huxley and Trent Seven.
The one, like you said, at Sevens, Brookside, and even Mackenzie, she had a really big upside, and unfortunately, we're not going to see it on WWE TV.
I mean, the ones that survived, Ilya Dragunov,
of course.
Yeah, Tyler Bay, pretty deadly. The ones we've already seen. Gallus, thank God. And
Gallus is the Coffee Boys, right?
Yes, and Wolfgang.
Okay.
And B. Priestley, aka Blair Davenport.
This is correct. No one that really surprises me is Andrews, because he had a lot of upside in WWE, non-UK related. And I remember, maybe I got this wrong, but I remember that there was really an interest to bringing him in and battling other companies to get him, and now they're kind of just throwing him away.
Yeah. I mean, also, I'm not sure if this guy was released prior and I just forgot about it. But Noam Dar.
I didn't even know he still worked for WWE.
Yeah, he was the Heritage Cup champion.
Did he do it for Elisa Brooks?
No. Alicia Fox. It's Guy Fawkes Day. I mean,
I heard that he's getting picked up by Fox News.
I heard he's getting picked up by the police.
Depending on what he's done, which would surprise me.
Now, this makes me wonder how do they plan on building an NXT Europe?
Well, I kind of imagine that maybe some of these people won't be let go for very long.
That's probably true.
Maybe bring in some other people that are not British, some people from Italy, some people from Poland, some Germans. then have them have join Gunter because you have to have Germans for Gunter, obviously. Um,
But isn't Gunther Austrian?
yeah, but the way that they're promoting him, it's very Germany. Um,
Fair enough. But
but Zoe
no,
Starks with him.
and nobody from Asia, because this is NXT Europe, not NXT Eurasia.
Yeah. Wait a minute. There was an Asian.
Yes, Miko Satomura,
Yeah.
who survived these cuts.
So just shut up, Scooter.
But
Um.
then how can you? My brain hurts. Uh,
So do you see that this NXT Europe is going to be beneficial to the company, or is this going to be another in the woods scenario?
I don't know if I would have branched out into another country. I would have gone out to the West Coast and set up an NXT development in California.
Well, they kind of do in Santino Brothers.
No, no. That's saying any independent promotion. I'm saying a legit. You have NXT Atlantic on the East Coast. You have NXT Pacific on the West Coast. You essentially make it like a developmental NWA.
I see where you're going with this, but you know, it does. I go one better with that. Put a developmental instead of putting a developmental center here in California, but I would be very pro. Do a developmental system in Canada.
I would see that. I can see that happening, but it's the border issues that could come up in that.
Putting
Not
your
to,
building in a different country.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily take the shot at building something, establishing something in Canada. Um, I would say maybe even stateside.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, like again, NXT could really hell. You know what? Have have somebody from the WWE go out and license these promotions.
You mean Biden?
No, have a written working agreement that they can scout their talent whenever they want.
Huh. I mean that's frequent
And
past for them.
you know they'll they'll pay the promotion a small stipend, and they'll lend promotions WWE talent every once in a while. I don't think I don't think building from scratch is the greatest idea, especially now. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully I will be delightfully surprised.
I think we're all hoping for that, but we shall wait and see. There is, like you mentioned before, Braun Breaker was confronted by Tyler Bates. And we're getting more.
Bait, 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 not Bates, just bait.
Well, I heard that he's teaming with Zoe Starks next week. Bates and Starks.
God damn it.
Um, and we're getting a Worlds Collide event again. This time, the same day as All Out. If there's a shot fired by WWE, this is it, right?
I mean, so it's airing at 4 p.m. Eastern on Peacock here in the U.S., 1 p.m. Pacific. So, if we take that time difference, it is literally going to be going on at the same time as All Out.
That is a very interesting thing WWE is doing. Is this a direct spite of AEW?
No, no. Honestly, I don't think when they put this together, I don't think they even remembered that AEW that was doing All That on September 4th. Hell, I didn't even know until I watched Dynamite this past week.
Um, and it does seem like a Braun Breaker or Tyler Bate match would be really interesting now.
Mm,
Bates could go.
yes, he could go. I think I might prefer Dragunov if he wasn't injured.
Um,
But honestly, I think as soon as Dragunov recovers, I think odds are they're gonna fast track into the main roster just so they can capitalize on the rematch with Gunther.
I would be against that, but continue.
I think the question that has to be asked is Tyler Bates still employed just because he happens to find himself as NXT UK champion currently?
That is a good question, isn't it?
I mean, you know, you could have kept Trent Seven, and you know, you could have made, and he could have been, he could be the deciding factor in the match at September 4th. That may well happen for all we know. Um, I I I want British strong style back. That's all I want, and my birthday's in 11 days, so please, Trips, you want to get me a birthday present? Be done with Butch and make Butch done again.
And a lot of people this might come to the dismay of many people, including ourselves. Um, Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark did not compete against Natalia and Daddy DeVille on SmackDown.
But and what team did I say they should have placed in there to begin with?
Well, it does beg the question, Scooter. What did Gigi do to get on SmackDown?
She smoked a whole bunch of crack. I mean, and Toxic Attraction advanced, so more than likely it's gonna be Io and Dakota against Toxic Attraction in the finals.
They're going to go against Raquel and Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
I mean, we'll see. Usually it doesn't go heel in the finals.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. Are you really gonna have Io and Dakota job out already?
Well, who's saying Toxic Context, Attraction, is going to win the tournament?
I didn't say they were going to win the tournament, but having Aaliyah and Raquel go to the finals.
They're faces.
Yes, and it would be their third match as a team.
Well,
I don't know.
as far as I know, Mandy Rose didn't didn't accompany a toxic attraction
No,
on SmackDown.
no,
So
no.
we're not. It doesn't seem like we're getting a complete call up. And I don't think it would necessarily be the wisest thing to call them up at this point when they're one of the main toxic attractions of NXT. And unless you find somebody to replace them, the very few viewerships that NXT does get drops. But
Well, I mean, considering that last night's SmackDown was the 1200 episode of SmackDown. So, who knows?
alright, that'll conclude our coverage of the news. A quick word from our sponsor.
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with the G1 Climax 32 Finals. Kaliko's not here, so we're gonna keep this brief. It's all over. We'll go from block to block to see who won what and who essentially won. Will Ospreay won the block with 8 points. Um, Everybody else finished. Yoshihashi, David Finley, Shingo Takagi, and Yujiro Takahashi finished with 6 points. Juice Robinson and El Phantasmo ended with 4 points.
El Phantasmo had 6.
6 points. My bad.
Yeah, Juice Robinson is the only one that had 4.
Which is kind of disappointing because when you sell out, you're supposed to buy in, right?
I mean, hey, Yoshihashi can now claim he finished second in the G1 block.
With everybody else
Yeah,
except Juice Robinson.
That's like saying, and the winner is everybody except Juice Robinson.
You're not wrong about that. Honestly, all the shit and grief we give Yoshihashi, he had a pretty good tournament. Osprey winning the fight the black, a little bit surprising, a little disappointing as well. But I guess they're going with that guy. And Phantasmo, I mean, it was his first G1 and his first real go at being a heavyweight. He's been in the juniors, so I mean, it's only up from here. All right, C block, Tetsuya Naito won with 8 points, and one of the most interesting matches of the tournament being Zack Sabre Jr. in 3 minutes. Getting revenge for all the times Zack defeated him in the past and costing him last G1, the New Japan Cup, and yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, didn't either you or Kaliko say that was going to happen?
Yes, I
That
think we both said that.
that ZSG was going to lose in less than 5 minutes because of all that the crap he caused Naito.
I don't listen to the show, so I don't know. But
Wrestling with, we don't listen to our own show.
I mean, I'm recording it. Why do I need to watch it?
Well, I mean, if you could watch it, that'd be really weird considering it's audio.
Well, I use ColecoVision.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da.
Hiroshi Tanahashi ended with 6 points. Tanahashi, Goto, and Kenta all end with 6 points.
And Evil.
And Evil. And Hanare ended with 2 points. So Juice could feel a little bit better about that 4 points because Aaron Hanare only had 1 win the whole tournament. That's pretty disappointing, right?
Yeah.
Alright, surprisingly enough, the B block was won by Tama Tonga. He ended with 10 points, tying Jay White at 10, but he had um the win over Jay White. He had the tiebreaker over Jay White, so he advanced. Tama and White were 10 points. Tomohiro Ishii was at 4 points. Sonata at 6 points. Taichi at 4 points. Great O'Connor at 4 points, and Chase Owens at 4 points. Pretty. I don't want to say cut and dry, but this was more competitive than at least 8 block, right? With a surprising outcome. I don't think anybody had Tamatonga actually winning the block.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think we. Yeah, I don't think we.
No.
Shit, I think. No, I said. No, I said Jay White. Yeah.
I don't remember. Again, I don't listen to the show. Um, Sonata went to the slaughter once again. I think it's probably time on the show that we take Sonata back into the back of that barn and
Put
finish
him out
this.
to pasture.
Hmm?
Put him out to pasture.
Yep. And then we got A Block. Kazuchika Okada won with 10 points. The only person that came remotely close to him was Jonah with 8 points.
Say it right.
Jonah!
God,
Killing my throat here.
I love that.
Toriano with 2 points. Tom Lawler with 6 points. Jeff Cobb 6 points. Archer 6 points. Bad Luck Fale 4 points. Um,
The Gaijin block.
Monster Block as they called it. Um, Tom Lawler and Jonah, basically new people in New Japan. Are we hoping that we see more of them because new faces, right?
Not really. Nah,
Okay then.
yeah. I could care less whether or not we see Tom Lawler.
All right. Um, Kazuchika Okada went on to face Tamatonga in the semis. Fantastic match, 5 stars. Okada won. Ospreay defeated Naito. A little bit surprising because they've been on this narrative that Naito, this could be his last year in New Japan. He might be retiring soon. This might be his last opportunity to get to the main event. And they beat him in the semis. Could have, should have had Naito won his block, won the semis.
Mm, I guess it depends on how you feel about Okada Naito.
I mean, we've seen it a couple times this year, but I mean that would have been interesting, to see it because they've had a series of matches this year.
Mm, honestly, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Osprey was the right call.
And of course, Kazuchika Okada won the whole shebang, defeating Will Ospreay. Your G1 32 Climax winner. He's going to the Tokyo Dome to challenge the IWGP World Champion. No surprise there, especially considering
Uh,
what happened last year.
uh, and also he makes history yet again as the first four-time winner.
No, Masahiro Chono was 5.
Ah, fuck Cherno, man.
Hot damn, I am Chono. Um, yeah. So, and on top of that, he's a new father. He has a new son, is going to be taking a leave of absence for the time being to be a father. Congratulations, all things Kazuchika Okada, no?
Yes, I'd say so. I'll have a cigar for you, Okada.
Alright, that will conclude our coverage of everything this week. If you liked what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, or on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Rochelle Rowe. This Wednesday as we interview Spencer Love. And of course next Saturday for all things wrestling and entertainment. Um, Join us on social media as well at Wrestling E for news on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and everything in between on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling E. Follow me at JamesJ993. Follow Kaliko and as at I am Kaliko. And where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at Scooter Dust. Find me, James, and Orion Dust hosting the remix on YouTube, a premium audio companion experience for all your WWE premium live event needs and alternate commentary. And next time we come to you is October 8th, Extreme Rules. And of course, don't forget to revel in all my Twitch antics as me and Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan. Twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
Alright, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James Shane. This has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.